Word on the street is Wendy Williams is starting to get healthy, and she is already singing before they try to silence her again. And of course, the first person she decided to come after is Diddy. Diddy has been getting accused of coming after Wendy for a while now, but what we didn't know was that he was also after her son, Kevin Jr., when he was just 16 years old. Wendy was the first person to expose Diddy for being DL, and ever since then, he has been out to get her.
That's why Wendy Williams got fired.
Yes, because she exposed pictures of him having a homosexual affair in Mexico. But she had a website way back then.
I don't feel safe. Clap if you feel safe. Oh. Oh.
Now, the reason why all this even got brought back up is because right after Diddy was arrested, Wendy was one of the very few people to speak on him, and she pretty much celebrated his downfall. Mind you, Wendy is currently struggling with dementia, so the fact that she was still able to remember the despicable things Diddy has done to her and her son speaks volumes. You know someone is a real demon when a dementia patient still remembers their evil deed. At the time, she put out this statement that said, "What is really weird is that I have been told by so many people, Wendy, you called it, including some people from my family who have said the same. To see this video on TV of Cassie getting pummeled, it was just horrific. But now you have to think, how many more times? How many people? How many more women? It's just so horrible." What's even more interesting about Wendy bringing up Cassie in this statement is that she actually tried to warn us about what Diddy was doing to Cassie, but no one clocked it at the time.
Africa filming Honey 3. And she allegedly has been avoiding Puffy. And, you know, my thing about when you date a mogul is that it's really difficult to avoid them because if you use your head, you never know when they're gonna pop up on the scene. Like he's mogul, like he can hire a plane right now, zoom into South Africa, land on the roof of the hotel where she's staying, okay, pay people off at the front desk, give me the key and let me up in her room. Like I'm already paranoid. Of Michael Jackson's song, Lady in My Life, and wrote, if anyone sees Cassie this weekend, please tell her to listen to this song 100 times. I suggest don't use social media though to reach out. I think this is a grand overture from Puffy. I don't believe he really wants her back. I believe he probably treated her at some particular point like a possession, like a possession. And if you really care, then you'd reach out privately, not publicly.
Did y'all see the way Wendy accurately read into the situation and pointed out everything that we know about Diddy and Cassie today? She really knew Diddy like the back of her palm, and he didn't like that at all. Not only that, but back in 1999, when Diddy and Jennifer Lopez got into that incident at the club that Shine eventually had to take the fall for, Wendy was the only one who had the balls to go against Diddy and question the entire thing. Everyone believed Diddy when he said Shine did it, but Wendy knew something shady was going on, and she boldly spoke about it on the radio.
He ran out of the club so fast and got into the waiting SUV that it wasn't until he got into the truck that he realized that he left Jennifer behind, along with his bodyguard, Anthony Wolf. He just like ran. You know, forget it. That's a true sign of an itch bag, by the way. You know, leaving his
I thought it was an unk pay.
Well, eventually, Jennifer and Wolf made their way to the SUV without Puffy.
Right.
They ran 11 lights to elude the cops. Supposedly it was Puffy, although people are saying they saw a female hand tossing a the window. And then when the cops stopped them, they found a second gun, of course, in the car.
Right.
All four of the occupants, the driver, the bodyguard, Puffy and Jennifer, were handcuffed and taken down to the precinct. And eventually, Puffy and his bodyguard, Wolf, were overheard talking about their plot to bribe the driver to take the rap for the and Puffy was overheard saying, and I quote, because the prosecutor said this, "I can't go to jail, I'm Puff Daddy."
He was arrested with a deadly weapon. And making
a lot of people believe that Wendy's issues with Diddy aren't just about her, and it also has to do with her son Kevin Jr., specifically when he was 16. Apparently, Diddy tried to do some disturbing things to Kevin in order to punish Wendy. These rumors got fueled when this creepy interview of Diddy and Wendy from a few years ago went viral, in which Wendy got visibly nervous and even forgot what she was about to say after Diddy told her that he met her son, who was just 16 years old at the time backstage. When he said this, her face dropped in fear and she started stuttering. Take a look at this, y'all.
As the mother of a now 16-year-old.
Who who I met backstage.
He did?
He's a great young man.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
You represent a lot.
I know y'all saw that. Wendy was scared, y'all. The way that Diddy said it felt like a subtle way of him telling Wendy that he now knows her son and wouldn't mind coming after him if she keeps running her mouth. One person said, he was threatening her, shaking my darn head. We all know Wendy told a lot of truths about him, and we all know how Diddy gets down. Now, if you are a loyal Wendy fan, then you probably already know what led to her having this hostile relationship with Diddy and why he might be coming after her son. It all went down years ago while Diddy was working at Hot 97 Radio in New York. She got on air and spilled the tea about some exclusive gay photos that someone had sent to her of Diddy getting his wood gobbled by another man while he was on vacation in Cancun. Unlike other reporters at the time, Wendy actually had receipts and was gearing up to drop them. But before she could do all that, Diddy got word about the things she was saying, and he called the radio executive at Hot 97 to fire her immediately. Not only that, but he also sent out a strong warning to every radio station in New York not to hire her, or else he would come after all of them too. And guess? They all complied. Wendy was pretty much blackballed in not just New York City, but the entire New York state, and she had to move with her son Kevin Jr. to another state to get a job.
Wendy Williams, she got fired from Hot 97 because she had a picture of Puffy. So if you don't mind, give me the story from your point of view, and what was in the picture?
We were in Cancun. For whatever reason, dude was playing with Puff. He went behind him and grabbed his trunks and pulled them down. Some girls that was taking pictures. They took that picture and emailed it back to Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams said she had him in a compromising position and like he was gay, something like that. She was gonna put it out. Wendy had shown people that email. Puff told Hot 97 if they didn't get rid of her before he got back in New York, that they was not gonna get any music from any of his friends, any of the record labels executives that was cool with him. Everybody was gonna boycott their station. We was out in LA for about 3 days before we landed back in New York. Wendy Williams was in the radio station in Philly. She was fired.
Fast forward to 2013, she finally spoke on the issue again after years of keeping her mouth shut, and she revealed that the reason she couldn't get a job was because a hip-hop mogul got her fired and blackballed after alleging that he was gay. This time around, she didn't dare mention Diddy's name out loud. However, it didn't take rocket science for people to figure out who this hip-hop mogul was.
A very homosexual era of hip-hop as well. There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle. There were many situations, none of which to talk about, but there were many situations back in the day in my career, and it's all coming full circle now. So
Wendy also said Diddy went as far as telling all the girl groups that were signed to his record label at the time, Bad Boy Entertainment, to pull up on her at work and jump her. Thankfully, her boyfriend was around and he saved her from getting jumped.
Got off the air one day and them total bitches were downstairs waiting, and everybody upstairs at the radio stations looking down, egging it on, waiting for something to go down. I wasn't yet married. My knight in shining armor screeched up in his car just out of nowhere. I didn't even know what was about to happen. I'm standing in the door like, what? And I'm literally about to go through. Now, I'm not like what, let's fight, because I'm not one of those type of broads. And plus, there was 3 of them. The little Chinese man that drove the van that they were coming at. There was no security or anything. It was just them 3 fighting broads. And me. And my coworkers at SHOT standing upstairs trying to look down to see it all jump off. They all knew. When I said goodnight to everybody, everybody's pressed up against the window. I didn't even walk or bother asking, what are you all looking for? Because, you know, when the clock strikes, it's time to go. It is time to go. I didn't get a chance to hit the sidewalk before I knew it, out of nowhere. And there's a whole bunch of rah-rah going on outside, and I'm still trying to figure out what the hell is going on. And I send Cower and Skell out on the sidewalk, and he comes back in and says, it's total outside. And they were about to set it on you.
Anyway, fast forward to 2017, it seemed like they had resolved their issues because Diddy appeared on the Wendy Williams show, and they both even joked about the fact that they had some tension in the past.
I must say, it's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
And I want to just tell you how proud I am of you. Because I don't think you get enough credit for being the first one to really cover our culture hip hop culture and also hip hop celebrities shedding light on our culture and our people. And thank you very much.
Pissed a lot of people off, including you. But this is a full circle moment, everybody. Get into adult conversation. This is full circle.
It turns out this interview was just a way for him to make people think he didn't have any animosity towards her anymore, so that when he came after her, he would be the last suspect on anyone's list. Now, as y'all already know, Wendy is currently going through a really hard time right now after she was diagnosed with primary progressive aphasia and frontotemporal dementia. A lot of people initially underestimated just how bad her illness was until she released her documentary, Where is Wendy Williams? Wendy revealed that she has been getting exploited these past few years by the people that have been appointed to take care of her. She says she doesn't even know some of the people who have been taking care of her, and to make things even worse, they've been stealing money from her. Even the financial guardian the court appointed to her was no better because she allegedly also started stealing from her.
Stealing money from me.
Getting money, whatever the case may be.
Enough. She has people around who are yes people and allowing this to continue.
Questions about my money. Suddenly, Lori Schiller has got no response regarding my money. I want my money. This is not fair. And Wells Fargo has no questions and answers with regarding my money. This is not fair. And Lori Schiller and Wells Fargo have this guardianship petition about keeping me away from my money. And this guy named Bernie Young, I know for a fact that Bernie Young used my American Express card to hire an attorney to file a petition against me. That was done with my American Express card. A former doctor had medical information about me that I never even got. It was sent over to Lori Schiller. I fired the doctor, and again, all I want to know is where is my money? This is not right.
Wendy's sister and her son Kevin Jr. also talked about how unfair it was that Wendy's money and entire career was now being managed by a complete stranger who didn't even care about Wendy. Now, this is where people began to suspect that maybe the people who have been appointed to take care of her are trying to take her out, because Kevin Jr. also revealed that the doctor said her illness was deteriorating as fast as it was because she was still taking a lot of alcohol. Apparently, her whole team knows about this, but they continue to still supply her with alcohol and other substances. Wendy can barely walk, so we know for sure that she isn't the one going out getting the alcohol herself. Someone in her team is intentionally giving her all these things, knowing very well that it's going to worsen her condition.
They basically said that because she was drinking so much, it was starting to affect her headspace and her brain. I think they said it was alcohol-induced dementia.
So as y'all can see, there were a lot of shady things going on, and even though it's unclear if Diddy ever actually went through with his threat against Kevin, people believe he used Kevin to keep Wendy in line before eventually silencing her with her illness. As usual, people had their own thoughts, like this person who said, "I hope she gets better and her son finds out what really happened to his mom. Don't back off, kiddo, your mom needs you." But now another person said her son has a right to sue anyone who's coming in between her relationship with her son. He can change that whole dynamic. Lawyer up, young man. But now I want to know your thoughts. What do you think about Diddy allegedly poisoning and victimizing Wendy and her son? And do y'all think Wendy will start talking more when she gets better? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and don't forget to click here to watch this other messy video.